started. Does anybody have any questions for now? Because I got some questions for myself.
Okay.
I'll start it. No problem.
You can start it up.
So, how was it working together to create this amazing project?
Anybody want to? I'll start. It was a blast meeting different people from different cultures, and with what we had written in the script, it just all came together. Everyone was cast, just about perfectly, I can say, and it was just great. It was just to see these characters come to life after rewrites, and they just, and the chemistry, everything was just great. So, yeah.
Were some difficulties you guys had to get in your roles or to create them?
Say again, I can't hear a word you're saying.
What were some difficulties that you guys faced while getting into your roles or creating the film?
So I was gonna say.
We can all go.
This was like I've done other films, but I feel this was like my first time doing a more major professional film. And like working on that set, like I really had to like learn some things, like communicating with people, seeing like the different roles that they have behind the scenes. When you just watch a film, it's like, oh, you're just going to act, but then there's like all this technical stuff that like I wasn't even aware of, and then just like, yeah. So I'm sorry if that sounds weird, but like, yeah, like.
Well, difficulties come with the industry in general. I think we've talked about it on several different levels. You get cast in something, and sometimes pre-production takes longer than you think. And so then it's like, okay, you're ready to film. It's like, so for us, for him, it was a different story because he got it the day before. But, we've been going over it. But it was when I was called to set, I think I had several different things lined up. And so it was just, getting in and letting all of that gel together with Nick and everybody. But it wasn't really that it was a difficulty. It's just a challenge that we face in the industry.
Yeah, I would say the same. It wasn't no difficulties, but like it was a challenge to have to do a British accent. So I had to look up on YouTube like how to do that. So it was real interesting, copying the person on the YouTube and then doing it in the mirror to like practice that for the role.
Though some challenges are bigger than others. We were interviewed 2 weeks ago now, a week and a half ago. I was the last one to be cast. And I just got off another major shoot, and I was kind of downtime. I'm having a cup of coffee and got the call from Romello. Basically, hey, want to offer you this role. Great, can I read the script? Sure, need you on set tomorrow at 8 a.m. It's like 3 p.m. So, could not read a 200-page script in 12 hours. Had to, figure it out, sleep, get up, get out there. When you walk in the green room, when you see friends and you see people and you talk with a director that knows what he wants, she wants, it can communicate, it's half the battle. So I've got my process that I go through, was not able to do my process, but trust the process and trust your co-stars, your fellow actors, the director, the crew, and you make magic, you have fun.
Yes.
I would say one of the difficulties were some of the actors we had originally cast at first had no call, no shows. Things happen in this industry like that. We had trouble recasting Madoff at first, played by the brilliant Dennis Mallen. And when I got his info sent, his headshot resume, demo reel, and stuff, I had saw it and I said, that's him. And this was the night before, day before, I believe it was.
Night before.
And just couldn't cast. I mean, we got at least 20, 20, auditions. I wasn't feeling any of them. And then Dennis, out of nowhere, hey, I heard you were looking for this character, this and that. He sent me his, stuff online, and I was like, wow, impressive. I said, that's him. He had the look, he had the voice, so things happen for a reason sometimes, and you try not to, when things don't go as planned, you gotta pray, and then you gotta come up with some type of alternative of how, it's like the character of Kyle. the original actor was supposed to be on shoot that first day, no call, no show, wouldn't pick up the phone, anything. And we had another actor, the guy played by Kyle, played by Casey Starshak. He was supposed to play the cop outside the restaurant at first. And luckily Chris Hill was available. We got him in there because he has that exact look, like you see him and you're like, okay, cop, he's gonna play my cop right there. Great actor as well. And Casey came in, he's not here, a couple of them could be here tonight. But he came in and he, we had to shoot, we had everything rented, we had everything already, no Kyle. I am panicking. I get on the phone, some just say, call Casey up, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. And he came in, called him up, I said, hey, can you do this? Would you like to lead? It's like, lead, and he was like, thought about it for a little bit, and said, okay, sure, I'll come in. Similar story to Dennis right here, and he came in that day, and he blew it out of the sky, and I said, that's how Kyle things happen for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last minute casting, I mean, so many things can go wrong on a set, but it all worked out great, and yeah, it was just awesome.
And COVID.
And during the, so, got,
Not to cut nobody off, but this is for like the actors. I wanted to know how, how well did you guys work together? And, like, do you see, like, was it easy to work with each other? And, you know what I'm saying, or was it a difficult process? You know what I'm saying, being complete strangers, really not knowing each other?
I've been fortunate enough to work with Don Larson a bunch of times. So when I walked in the green room and saw Don, I was like, okay, good. Comfortable, and then, kind of quickly building rapport. Maddie and I, we obviously hit it off pretty quick, because it was a very unique scene that we did, right, in the beginning. So, you hope to trust the process, trust your fellow actor, because, givers give, you give someone energy and you put into it and you get that back. And we had a really talented cast,
Yeah, we
just
did.
great people.
It was like
So-
natural, really, like.
it was, the chemistry was amazing
Yeah.
with everyone, and they just vibed off of each other, and I was just like, wow, this is really gonna work. You have your concerns at sometimes, but they, incredible. Just,
I was gonna. No, y'all probably won't do it. I'll just say. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I think Romello had a very your directing style is very good. You you're gonna tell us what the scene was, but some of the stuff I remember we were able to have some freedom in some of the scenes that we did.
Right.
Or so.
Yeah, some of the scenes,
I love that though.
Yeah, I would say, okay, let's do it this way, and then I would say, do you. Take what you want to, and I said that to Jana, I said that to Dennis, take it, these two scenes we're gonna shoot, takes. We're gonna do 2 takes, we're gonna do it the way we planned, then do it your way, and let's see what we got and what we come up with. And I like options, I like to shoot different angles, I like to shoot multiple angles of the same scene, just because you never know how it's gonna work, so I just think that's the best, take your time. If you have a deadline, you do what you gotta do, but make sure you get everything you need before you go into post, so you don't have to come back and, good process.
You definitely do have to trust the process,
Yes.
though, because you will get on sets and not know anyone, and have to do very intimate scenes, or you just have to know your craft, be ready, be prepared as you can be, and then trust the process, and the magic happens.
I was gonna say I just had I would kind of knew coming into this movie, but everyone I said was chill and help me out, kind of get out of my shell. Some of the scenes, cause I was a little bit I'm the noob, I'm the intern or something, fetch car. Not like that, but just everyone was chill and just bouncing off energy. And
Yeah,
stuff.
the energy was just,
It was funny when I was wrestling Casey. He's a big boy, and if you follow him, he's putting out. He's getting even bigger.
Yeah.
So I had him, and adrenaline flows real quick. So I had him really tight.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he's like, dude, it's okay. What? And I kept pulling him. And one of the first takes, when I cracked him with the gun outside, I cracked him with the gun outside.
cracked him with the
You know?
And I was like, Dennis, it was so
You
real.
heard,
It was
"Whack."
like, yeah, I was like,
And all I'm thinking, you got that shot, right? You got it, you good? You okay? Yeah, whatever. You got that? But it was just, you know, we built great rapport real quick, and that's,
yeah.
it comes down to the direction, the communication, and everything else, just let it flow, just trust it. We keep saying trust, unless you're there and you're in the moment, it's tough to feel it.
Right. We had fun. So every day we'd laugh, and sometimes we messed up takes laughing so hard. I mean, it was just like, but they did a great job. We had to let them be them. You know, take this character, make it your own, and keep some of you in there, and bring, you know, and that was great. And they were really good, like you said, vibing off each other, feeding off each other with the responses, the situations that were happening, and they just pulled it off so well. This couldn't have been done without this specific cast of people. Like, they were perfect. They were just, you know, they're great. I mean, you guys are the best, and we hope to work. You know, we will work all again today. I mean, all again one time. You know, in the future. Absolutely, yeah.
Do you encourage, going on the acting, I'm just curious, do you encourage improvising?
Not too much improvising. In certain ways I see the scene a certain way, how you envision it. And if you've seen situations like that before, you have to communicate and interpret how you want that to play out, the reaction, how they, you know, just everything, just the direction in general, and I lost my train of thought there for a second. But
I felt bad because I was now off book. So I literally felt horrible. So we have one scene, my opening scene, and I hope you didn't see it. Thank God for a computer. You know, I'm talking to you as I'm looking at the computer.
Yeah.
I'm reading the script.
Right.
That's what I was thinking when I saw it, because I know the trick. You didn't
Yeah.
look like it, but I know the tricks, and I was like, he's got that computer in front of him.
Yeah. So I mean, it's funny, but you want to stay as true to the script as you can. My opinion. You know, if the director says, look, riff, just kind of, you know, see where it goes, then, you know, it is what it is. But you try to stay as true as you can.
Yeah.
You know, even you have to read off the computer.
Right. And Dennis would say, hey, let me try this, let me say this, let me do that. I said, okay, that's not bad. You know,
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it. And there's a couple of scenes that he did improvise on top of what we already had there, and it turned out great. And they, you know, just, yeah, it was awesome.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I truly loved how you did it. You made even hard situations very comical. And what was the inspiration?
Oh, the inspiration was, how would people, our country,
It's deep because I like how you put it.
yeah, how would they react to a new race coming here, and how would underprivileged people that are here already react to them now that they can sort of, okay, now we got this, you know, we can go ahead and to see some of them change and, you know, take advantage of it, exploit it, and some of them be nice and say, hey, I get you, you're just getting here, but, you know, some people were, okay, let's switch places now, let's do this, your turn now. And so we just wanted to show, you know, what would happen and put it in kind of current times and just make it funny. And take just everything we saw, we could just do and kind of change it up and make it, you know, what can we do different that hasn't been done. That was the goal. And the inspiration, you know, the movies I had to take a lot of cheese out of it. It was a lot of cheese in there. I'm like, it started because you go into filming, you film everything, you have this idea of how it's supposed to be, and then you get into post, and things change. And you're like, okay, I came in, yeah, we can have some cheese and do it like this, and as time changes, you keep watching it, and go ahead. Then you decide, then you say, you know what, let's take some of the cheese out and make it a little more serious, a little bit more, just a little bit more epic, you know, than just, you know. So that was, but the inspiration was to, sitting at my old business. I used to have a unisex hair salon owner, operator. Few employees, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I cannot do this the rest of my life. I don't want to be on my feet for 14 hours a day. And just, so, and everything was changing. So I'm sitting in there during my downtime and I'm like, let me write this movie. Let's use this time. And my thing was to create the next franchise. That was the goal with Great People. I needed to come up with something that was the title, which is, how should I say, what's the words I'm looking for?
It's kind of open-ended.
Easy to say Great People. It's like a White Chicks or Friday or just, Great People. It sticks with you, the title.
Yeah.
And so, okay, what can we do? Let's take this and give people some nostalgia. Let's give them some new stuff. Let's old situations, new situations, and let's bring people into rooms they've never been in before. Let's see those conversations that we look at sometime and we say, do people really talk like that? Do people act like that? And so and that was the goal, to bring people from different. Let's see how this room is with these people and this, and what if we put this one with that one and mix this type up with this culture and that culture. So it was just what would the outcome be? What if, basically? Yes.
I have a question.
Our co-producer, Victoria James.
Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about the open-ended last scene?
Oh, last scene, that is, that's my inner Marvel child, Easter egg, mid-credit scene, basically, setting up the sequel. So if we're, fortunate enough to get that done, we already got an outline, and soon get ready to work on the script for the second one. And then I have an idea where we're gonna go with it. That's all I can say.
You want to see Great People too?
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't know, they're not too enthused.
Well, if you do want to see a second showing of it, it's going to show on the 1st at 4 in State Theater, if you enjoy this one.
A couple more questions over here.
Yes.
So from the time you started this idea to the end of the production, how long was your time frame?
Oh boy, let's say I started and then I stopped for a while. I had put it to the side. I had wrote up the first one. We kind of did a short of it with a lot of different, with a different cast, and I was like, this needs to be different, because my thinking was different at the time. I wanted to, I'm still in film school, and I'm like, I'm writing this thing, but I'm going to college at the same time, and so I let it rest for a little bit, and then I came back to it because I'm like, something kept telling me to do it. Like, dude, this is what you're going to school for, because I originally started college into the nursing program, and I'm like, I can't look at blood, and that. So I'm like, let me do what I've always done, because I've been writing since I was a child. Like, when people were out at the park, I'd be in a room with, where I used to take the two VCRs together and put them, have my little 3 movies on a VHS, and I would sit there and watch these movies over and over again. And that's, I'm just a movie fanatic, and certain directors, I like their style, and I'm like, okay, if I do it, it's gonna look like that, these things are gonna look like that, so, but, I came back to it and changed it a couple times. I, let some people take a look at it, and they didn't understand a lot of stuff that was in there, but I did. So, I took the criticism, good with the bad, and went back, and then I started, I just kept writing. I would wake up 2 o'clock in the morning with ideas that would come to me in a dream. Because when you start something, you get fixated on it. It's like editing. Like when I'm in post, I would just be there dreaming about what I edited for that whole day. Like it wouldn't leave me. So fixated on it. And once I got that that final out, it was a go. So it just a drive, and don't give up. You know, you just had to stick with it. Yeah, because I have stories from back when I was 14. I would write, get knocks on the door. What are you doing in the room? Nothing. Put the book away under there, but I'm writing because it's just a writer's thing, you know, at a young age. I don't know if I want you to read this or read that. I'm coming up with this, but yeah, it's been writing for a long time, so definitely writing is my thing, and got to direct and edit. And when COVID hit, I was supposed to have an editor, work with an editor, but COVID had hit, and you know, I didn't want to be, you know, put myself out there. So we were in quarantine, and I was just everything, from sound effect to color to, yeah, basically, to rotoscoping to all type of things. Yeah, just it was, yeah. So great experience, and yeah. You gotta stick with it. You gotta stick with it. Yeah.
How long did it take you to write?
Oh wow. Let's see. It didn't take too long, but I just kept going. I just kept going. I would get on, and then I would go through it, and like I said, there's a lot that the original script is. I don't know, 200 pages. It gives it justice. Like it.
And we shot a lot too. He cut out because it was over 2 hours.
Yeah, it was over 2 hours, and we cut out. I'm like, once I got it down to where I got it, I'm like, Warner Brothers would be proud. Like,
if you could have kept everything, it would be like 3.5, 4 hours.
No, it wouldn't be. Well,
with every
maybe
scene
about
that we did.
about 2 hours. The first cut I did
I
was
would
about
say
2 hours and
Yeah.
27 minutes. I'm like, okay, no, we can't. But you have to work your way. Everyone has their own process of how they edit and come to a final decision on what stays and what goes, and that was an interesting process to go through.
I'm glad he kept all my scenes, that's all I'm worried about. Sorry, to say that.
Yeah, they all did great, yeah.
So, sorry
Yes,
to cut you off.
sure.
If nobody has any more questions, I'm sorry. Then that will conclude our Q&A. But you guys can keep asking the filmmakers and the actors questions. Today we have an after party. It should start anywhere between 10 and 11, and it's going to be right here at the back bar. 3 beers, so that's good. So I hope you guys enjoyed the greatest people.
Great people.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I get a boogie.
You got to go work tomorrow. Okay, that's right. All right. Safe trip, man.